Welcome to the Talking Diaries podcast featuring Dr. Louis Koster with John Kremer. One of your major themes in your diaries, which is that whole thing about allowing for the totality of what arises, uh, which I think in some way goes beyond just the simple thought that's going on in your mind, or whatever obsessive thought you have. And you're following along with it, and at some point you might get distracted or something like that, but then you follow that thought. But somewhere along the line, all of that is meaningless compared to even the totality of what arises. And somehow the word that you use, allowing for that totality of what arises, sort of takes you out of the thought.
Yes, absolutely. No, that is so true. It's kind of like you start to locate yourself somewhere else. You are losing your point of view in that process of allowing for the totality of what is there. And once you kind of have lost your point of view because you start to locate yourself in what is at least experientially the totality of your experience, that is the moment that a window opens into being.
Okay?
Like a point of view is really what has us be hooked in the experience of the mind. And there's something that happens in your experience when you allow for the totality of whatever is there, that you move away from having a point of view, which is what limits your experience of life, and also which is what defines what you are.
I guess I'm lost again.
Hmm.
Because how do you define what you are when all that you are is being?
Right. So one of uh, the hallmarks of being, so to speak, to the degree that I can talk about it, is that it is not defined. So um, the moment that you define yourself, you have limited yourself, and when you are really, when you become aware of your true being, there is no definition. You are, so what you are can't be described. So like I said, it is not an experience. The mind can only tell you what you're not. What you are, you can only be.
That's the beginning of a nice song again.
Okay.
um, I I sort of I can't remember what you said now, but it was unlikely as true as words can be.
Yes.
So I'll have to go back and listen.
Okay.
I've really enjoyed our talk today. I think there's a lot that you covered, that even intrigues my mind, uh, and almost overwhelms it, which is probably good.
That's yeah. So thank you, John. So really, I'm so I really acknowledge you for your well, first of for our relationship, for you choosing to have this conversation with me, and uh, your inquisitive your inquisitiveness in this conversation that gives me the opportunity to well, that gives us both the opportunity to explore what it is to live an authentic life. I think that is really what is the the intent of this conversation. Not just to have a conversation to for it to be interesting. It takes a lot of courage to explore truly what it is to be human and what is what is real and what is authentic in life. And so uh, yeah, so thank you really.
Uh, I think I might be experiencing the totality.
uh, and the other thing that is so wonderful is that you make me laugh, so that is fantastic because ultimately although the topic is serious, although it seems to be serious, uh, the lightness is what makes it all possible. So yeah, fantastic. Well, thank you so much, John.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
there was a lot that you said. It's really kind of neat how it comes out of you. And as you said, you're often blank. You don't know what you're going to say until you say it,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
and then you hear it and you go, "Wow, that was good."
yeah. That's right. That's right. So, John, can I ask you what was your experience of this?
In some sense, very absorbing. I found it very intriguing, and sometimes it actually, in some way, took me out of myself.
Wow.
I don't, I don't know if I could say it took me to being, but
I
it took
I
me
totally
somewhere.
I can totally get what you say. So, I mean, that's just amazing because what I notice now is that there is a transformation with you, as much as with me, from you reading something and then ask me questions to really ask me questions having read it all, or like what you have read, and then ask me a question from your own true curiosity in life. And that is so beautiful. I mean, that's such a gift that you do that. Yeah,
It seems that with the format of what we've been doing, that my asking you some questions that are sincere questions,
yeah,
they bring out good content in some way from you. And
yeah,
I'm not talking about content in terms of the crass commercialization of it or something like that, but just real wisdom that's coming out from you. So I
Yeah,
think in some ways, like today, I think in some ways we actually probably got into more depth than we did even last
yeah,
week.
yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah, and so what is so beautiful about this is that we are really trusting the unfolding. Like we can choose to be stuck with a format, or let's say we both have evolved in this, and then let's see what's then available, so to speak,
Right.
which is just amazing.
In some ways, there's an interesting thing that I think that comes, at least with you answering questions and so on, where if you're trying to follow a script, you have a tougher time with that.
Yeah,
But when you actually simply answer the question,
yeah,
it becomes more real in some way.
yeah, exactly, exactly. Yeah. I mean, I love your questions. They are absolutely great. And it is the art. I think that is what I'm learning here in this process. It is the art of eliciting a conversation. So what this is it has an intention to bring something out in conversation, to elicit a conversation that can be shared with other people so that it is a contribution for them. And that is an absolute art. That is an absolute art. Just amazing.
Well, hopefully, between the two of us, we can bring out more and more of that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm so excited about that. Yeah.
So, see you next
Great.
week.
Okay. See you next week, John.
Bye bye.
Thank you so much. Really fantastic. Great
Okay.
conversation. Thank
Bye
you.
bye. Thank you for listening to the Talking Diaries podcast featuring Dr. Louis Koster. For more information, check out louiskoster.com/talking diaries and subscribe to the Talking Diaries YouTube channel. Also, check out louiskoster.com/quiz and take the free quiz to discover more about yourself.